in a sefer that makes mention of the Chai Olam of the Stipler, which I mentioned in the previous recording, he uses this to explain one of my all-time favorite stories in Navi. And it's the story of Elisha and a young boy who worked for him. And the story is that Elisha was in this city, and in the middle of the night, the king of Aram sent a huge contingent of soldiers to surround the city where Elisha was staying, because he understood that as long as the Jews had a real prophet, he wouldn't be able to launch any surprise attacks or ambushes on them, because the prophet would warn them, which he had already done. Although you gotta wonder if the prophet knows when they're going to launch a surprise attack, when they're going to prepare an ambush. Why did he think the prophet didn't know when he was going to come and lay siege to the city to trap him? But that's a different story, not for this context. So in the middle of the night, the boy who would carry Elisha's luggage and different travel things he needed to go to the bathroom. And so he went to the wall of the city, and he was standing on the wall, and he was about to, relieve himself from the top of the wall. Must be a lot of fun for a kid, right? And just when he's relieving himself, he looks out, and he sees the whole city surrounded by tens of thousands of soldiers. Oh my gosh. So he runs back to Elisha, and he goes, Rebbe, oh no, what are we going to do? We're going to be killed. There's going to be a siege. We're going to be attacked. So Elisha goes up with him to the top of the wall, and he davens, he prays for Hashem to open up the eyes of this kid. And the eyes of the kid open up, and he sees that surrounding these enemy soldiers is a massive army, far larger of angels of fire. And Elisha turns to the kid, he says, you see, you have nothing to worry about. And there's more to the story. But what this sefer is saying is that if you follow the logic that of the Kilas Yaakov about Hashem opening the eyes of Hagar, Elisha is doing the same thing with this kid. This kid is desperate, and he has good reason to be scared. You wake up middle of the night, you go to relieve yourself, you see there's a huge army surrounding you, and you have good reason to be scared. And Elisha doesn't say, don't be scared. He gives him tools. He shows him, open your eyes, see what's really there, please Hashem. And that's what the boy was able to see, these armies of fiery angels, and the child wasn't scared anymore. Now, it doesn't really make a difference if there's one child who's scared, we would think, and yet it does make a difference. It does make a difference if a child is scared of very real things. We don't want him to be scared. We're going to do whatever we can to assure the child. And remember, if the fears of one person are of a concern to a Navi, so much so that he has to pray for a miracle, then if we see that someone's losing hope, if someone is terrified, and for good reason, there's a lot of scary things going on, we have to pray that this person's eyes are opened, or that we have to make an effort to present solutions, present them wisely and with sensitivity, but show that there are options and that there are things that can be done, and at the very least, to demonstrate that there are people there who care sufficiently to help out and to be there with them during their time of difficulty. So may Hashem open our eyes, especially during this time as we prepare for Hanukkah.